Excel and warm greetings from East Tennessee. Thank you so very much. A lot of information to chop up with you all today pertaining to Riley Strain, 22 years of age, a Mizzou student. We are now on approaching day 7. Later this evening, we'll make a full 7 days that he went missing from Nashville, Tennessee. Uh, Sightings by alleged homeless people, a guy that worked in a store, and yet there is nothing. Phone pings, but nothing. Where is Riley Strain? Is he alive? Is he okay? I'm going to bring you some information pertaining to allegations that possibly he was overserved at the last bar where he patroned. Now, as I said before my last live stream, you've got to ask yourself what happened at the other places he was at. Did he drink? How many drinks he had at the other places? Did somebody put something in his drink at the last place? Before the last place, Luke 32, did somebody drug him at that place? We're not getting information that I'm going to bring you that he only had one drink there. So you got to ask yourself what time he got there, what was the drink he had, who served him the drink, did he appear inebriated at the time? Lots of questions. And when you're dealing with this type of scenario, I don't think you get the whole truth just because they're high risk. There are jobs at stake, reputation at stake. This business is owned by a country music star. So naturally, this is going to affect him, the people who manage the restaurant for him, the people who work there, the bartenders. Everyone has something to lose. So will we get footage to show him entering his behavior, how many drinks he had, him moving around the establishment? Floor 1, floor 2, this room, that room. What will we hear? Fox 59 is the source of this information. And welcome to the Vault XL. Thank you so much. The management of Luke's 32 Bridge, the namesake Nashville bar of country star Luke Bryan, is cooperating with an investigation into missing Missouri students, Riley Strain. According to a statement the management posted to Facebook, Strain, 22, went missing after becoming separated from his fraternity brothers on March 8th following a visit to the venue. You're also going to hear information, finally, that they were paying a tab, allegedly, and he was escorted out of a side door now, and obviously couldn't stand in front of the business or near the business. So then you got to ask yourself, why did he take off if he knew the guys were coming? All this is strange to me. Okay, so Strain, 22, went missing after becoming separated from his fraternity brothers March 8th. Strain's friends have claimed they last saw him around 9:45 on March 8th when he had been kicked out of the Broadway bar. Surveillance footage later appeared to show Strain stumbling and struggling to stand up straight. The Tennessee Alcohol Beverage Commission, TABC, confirmed Thursday that the agency was investigating whether Mr. Strain was served alcohol while he was visibly intoxicated. A representative for TABC told NBC News. In the bar's Facebook post, the operators of Luke's 32 Bridge are claiming Strain was only served one alcoholic beverage that night. So, do you have that on video of the bartender serving him the one drink, him drinking the only drink out that same glass, not drinking other people's drinks, beers, so on and so forth? Just curious. During Riley's visit to Luke's 32 Bridge, our records show he purchased and was served, okay, so they got records now, one alcoholic drink and 2 waters, reads a statement posted to the venue's Facebook page on Friday, which is today. At 9:35 p.m., our security team made a decision based on our conduct standards to escort him from the venue through our Broadway exit at the front of our building. So now we're hearing people were coming in the chat saying back door. That's why I was asking, where'd you hear that? Oh, somebody. I read an article today that said side door. Now they're saying he was escorted out the front of the building, okay? Our building. He was followed down the stairs with one member of his party. Okay, here we go. He was followed down the stairs with one member of his party. The individual with Riley did not exit and return upstairs. Very interesting. Our prayers continue to be with Riley's friends and family during this difficult time and for his safe return. Luke Bryan had already shared a short statement on Strain's disappearance earlier this week, calling it scary, and writing on Instagram that he's praying for Strain's safe return. Strain family friend Chris Dingman is also hopeful the TABC's involvement will increase the amount of resources available to search for Riley. Authorities are now doing an investigation into the bar, said Dingman. What that means to me is all alcohol, beer, liquor, and wine is all federally regulated. So when they got brought into this, that now means we will have even more resources than we currently have with Metropolitan Police. Riley Strain has gone missing during a visit to Nashville for a fraternity conference with his Delta Chi fraternity brothers. His friend discovered he was not at their hotel on Saturday morning and alerted his family. Okay? It's your worst nightmare, really, Ryan Gilbert, Strain's father, said. Fox 59 is the source. Hello, everybody in the chat. Thank you for joining me. See, as I've always told you about true crime, everything's a version. You're entitled to believe whatever you hear from whomever. Thank you all for joining me. This person, that person, the police, Pookie, Ray Ray. It's always a version. So you don't really know what you're going to believe. So this is why I tell people, because a lot of people get upset when they come in the chat and you don't repeat what they heard. You don't put your stamp on it. Well, you now have three versions pertaining to which door he exited out of. You all came in with back door days ago. I read today side door. Now this article, Fox 59, if you need verification, says he was escorted out the front of the place. He went down the stairs with an escort and a member of his party. The party did not stay with him. Allegedly, they didn't want him at the front of the building, is what some of you are saying, what articles are saying. So each article gives you something different and contradictory to what you heard over here on 15th Street. So this is what I'm saying. This is what happens when you're dealing with true crime, because I do believe this is possibly a crime or some sort of something nefarious or bizarreness going on. Well, which door did he exit out of? Because next you're going to tell me he slid down from the roof and you all had a secret stair landing and he slid down a pole. You all see where I'm going with this? So now we got to ask the person who came down the stairs with him. Went down the stairs. Is it true that you went down the stairs with your friend, associate, Mr. Riley, with another party from the bar, and he was escorted out of the building? And why I have so many questions pertaining to this story, pertaining to Riley's behavior, is the obvious. I don't understand why this young man continued to walk. I don't care if they told you you could not stand in front of their establishment drunk. You could have moved paces down because the bar does not own the public street. Checkmate. They do not own the road in the middle with the yellow lines, white lines, and nor do they own across the street. That's all city. Okay? That's all city. So what he should have done, if there was an understanding by the other guys, we're going to pay our tab and come out, he should have waited just a few paces over from the bar and waited on his friends. And I'm going to keep saying this, because this case is bizarre to me, that if I'm to believe, his friend said, hey, wait on us downstairs. We'll be right out. We got to pay our tab. Because that's now the version I'm hearing, that they were paying their tab. But why would this child go run off if he thought you all were coming down? We also have video surveillance of him running somewhere down the street for some weird reason. That's bizarre to me. Homeless people saying they saw him. His phone pinging past the bridge. I'm going to bring you all that in the video. News reporter is going to show you exactly where his phone last pinged, under a bridge. It's a walkway under a bridge. It stops there. It goes past the bridge, possibly. See, all that's bizarre to me, because I'm trying to understand, why is this person drunk, inebriated, or whatever the hell was going on, doing all this excessive walking? Now, homeless camp near this bridge or walkway or whatever, why is he over there allegedly? So then you got to ask yourself, how many blocks is that bridge and homeless camp, or whichever one it is, to the bar? All this makes no sense to me, because I'm starting to wonder if perhaps Riley was upset and pissed off. Because the one thing we have learned Hold on one second, because I got to monitor everything. The one thing we've learned about people, especially when they've been drinking, oh, they can get an attitude, they can get crunk, okay? They can get attitude, they can get crunk. So is that what is going on? Or what happened last Friday? He got upset because he was escorted out. Maybe he stood outside, became impatient. They were taking too long. Maybe they didn't really exit out when they said they were going to come out. See, we don't know because we don't have any footage to show us the time he was escorted out and the time that the fraternity exited out, because all that's going to be pivotal to the versions they're spinning and the version that the bar is spinning, okay? Has it been said why he got kicked out? Because of the drinking, sweetheart. He was drunk. He was drunk. So you've got conversations now that he only had one drink. So then that leads you to believe he was already inebriated when he got there. So that means you still served him drunk then. So you're still telling on yourself. That's why I always tell people, you have to think before you speak, okay? We have laws in Tennessee. We're going to talk about that briefly. Thank you, Ms. Hagan, for sending me the information pertaining to Tennessee law. I'm going to go in now and read you the laws pertaining to serving a person alcoholic beverages. Thank you for joining me. And if you'd like to donate to this great network, $McAngie, 129 Cash App. Stickers and chats are always welcome during the live stream. Thank you all so much for your patience and tuning into this live stream today. Gotta try to find this information. I'm also going to be back here talking about Mr. Rogers, Sebastian Rogers, new updates. Somebody was on the property with flashlights. Don't know if that was a child, somebody else, random person. It's a lot going on in Tennessee right now. I'm quite exhausted. I didn't really feel too good to even come on today because I wasn't feeling the best earlier, but I wanted to get this information out because each day I don't go live, there's always something new and I have to try to recap all of that information. But it's some hanky-panky stuff going on with both of these cases. And sadly, they're both in the general Nashville area, not too far, Nashville and not too far from Nashville. This is just bad. All right, everybody. Trying to pull up this information to read to you guys. And I read you things because videos don't give you all of the details, the news clippings. So this is why I'm reading you certain things pertaining to the storyline. Oh, now I can't pull it up. Great. Well, now I'm having a problem. It's not letting me pull up what I'm trying to pull up. Okay. For some reason my screen won't scroll up. Well, I'll just have to find something else because this is not working. Lover, what are you talking about? Oh. Lover, what are you in the chat talking about? Okay, I'm trying to see something about serving. It says businesses that sell alcohol are responsible for not over-serving and not selling to minors. This is Tennessee. I'm trying to get information because I can't pull up the information that was sent to me for some reason. Oh, mercy. Basically, I'm just going to say this. You're not supposed to serve anybody you see visibly drunk. Bottom line. Because I'm taking up too much time trying to find the information. You're not supposed to serve anybody visibly drunk. So he obviously was drunk when he walked in. I asked that question the other day. If you see the person is drunk, then why are you serving him alcohol? So you just told on yourself. You gave him one drink. So he got drunk off of one drink. They already said he was at other bars. All this is baffling to me. Somebody's not, I don't know if somebody's telling the truth or not, because something's going to have to be verified by video of what he was served and what he was not served. So I don't know. All right, everybody. This is live number 1. I'll be back pertaining to Sebastian. I was going to put it in this live, but this one's probably going to run a little longer because there's so many videos to show you pertaining to what's going on. Okay, right now, the MNPD, they're looking for tips, naturally, for the child, for this young man, excuse me. And so far, there's nothing. I don't understand why there's nothing. I feel like I'm all over the place, but I just don't understand why his body hasn't surfaced, either alive or the worst case scenario. Let's see what the Independent has to say pertaining to sightings of him with homeless people. Because you don't really know what to believe because people will make up stuff. So we're just gonna pray and hope that he's alive somewhere. Missing student Riley Strang was reportedly seen wandering in downtown Nashville by 2 separate groups of homeless people on the night that he disappeared. Mr. Strang, who attends the University of Missouri, has been missing since March 8th after he was kicked out of 32 Bridge bar and establishment owned by country singer Luke Bryan at 9:30 p.m. The 22-year-old had allegedly been overserved alcohol, according to his stepfather, Chris Whitehead. The Tennessee Alcoholic Beverage Commission is investigating those claims. So now you got to ask yourself, why does the stepfather feel like he was overserved? Because he was at other bars. So I would assume he probably was already drunk when he got to bar number 3 or 4 or whichever Luke 32 would be, because I don't know how many bars they went to. After being kicked out, the student then wandered the streets, according to surveillance footage in the area. His friends subsequently spent 9 hours looking for him before filing a missing persons report with the police. Now I have a problem with this. You want me to believe they came out of a bar at whatever time and they started looking for him for 9 hours? Do you know how long 9 hours is? 9 hours by what? Car? Public transportation? Foot? I don't believe that. I'm not trying to be rude, but I don't believe that. I don't believe nobody came out drunk or buzzed from a bar and went 9 hours looking for somebody. I don't believe that. There you have it. Subsequently, they spent 9 hours looking for him before filing a missing person report with the police. Mr. Strang from Springfield, Missouri, was in Nashville with his fraternity Delta Chi for their spring formal trip. On Wednesday, friends Chris Dingman said he had learned from Mr. Strang's relatives that the missing student was seen by 2 groups of homeless people on the night he vanished. Why are you all? Please don't engage with the craziness in the chat, okay? Don't engage, because this is what they do. They like to troll, and it messes up the continuity of the live stream. Please don't engage. So Chris says on Wednesday he learned from Mr. Strang's relatives that homeless people had seen the young man. There are areas that the camera had stops. We don't have any footage, basically. The areas where his phone quit pinging. We now do have visual confirmation from 2 homeless camps that Riley was in that area, Mr. Dingman told local TV WSMV4. Mr. Dingman also spoke with a homeless person who saw Mr. Strain wandering near the banks of the Cumberland River, which runs through the city close to downtown. However, the homeless resident could not recall where Mr. Strain went, his friend said. A doorman working at a different downtown bar also told WSMV4 that he had been approached by a homeless man who claimed to have seen Mr. Strain stumble into some bushes, stand up, and then wander off in the dark. So where was this allegedly where he stumbled into bushes? I'm curious. I don't know. All right. There have been no other reported sightings of Mr. Strain since. Mr. Strain is 6'7", 155 to 160. Other articles say he's 6'5", don't really know. But either way, he's a tall guy. Blonde hair, blue eyes, according to a police handout. And also people from my area, Knoxville, Tennessee, Knoxville Area Rescue Squad has also gone out to Nashville days ago to help search for Mr. Strain. So they've been searching in and around Nashville using boats, helicopters to scour the waters and banks of the Cumberland River. So far, investigators have found no evidence that Mr. Strain fell into the river and said it was unlikely foul play was involved. But you're also going to hear it could be involved. Also, sonar was used while those boats were on the water for those who were curious. Investigators have also checked hospital jails in case Mr. Strain was brought in and have used cell towers to try to track his location via his cell phone. His cell phone network, Verizon, told police that it was not possible to do a live ping on the student's phone location because it had been turned off. Police are holding their job 100%. Mr. Dingman said they're doing their job, 100%. We just want to find Riley and get him home, get him to his mom and dad, get him to campus, get him back to doing fun stuff at MU. Mr. Strain's parents described the ordeal as their worst nightmare. Riley talks to us, whether it's me or his mom. He talks to his mom 3 or 4 times a day, Mr. Strain's stepfather, Chris Whitey, said. He told News 2. For him to go this long without talking is not normal by any means. So we have information that allegedly he was only served 1 drink at this bar, escorted out by an escort and a friend, but the friend went back up. We also have learned from the information I brought you, no more sightings of him. No more pingings of the phone. But I'd like to know, what about his personal effects? Credit card, debit card, Cash App, cash. Has his debit card been used if he had a debit card on him? Because now you got to ask, what did he have on him when he was out having fun with his friends? Okay? They want to call the police? Probably not. They probably didn't want to. Probably didn't want to call the police. So that's why I said this. None of this makes any sense. The behavior of Riley is strange. You calling in the afternoon is strange. Now you're saying you look for him for 9 hours. Why would I look for somebody for 9 hours? I want to call the police. I would have called the police when I got back to the hotel and realized he wasn't there. So that's why I asked the question yesterday. Did they have double beds in the room? Because if he shared a room with somebody, then you knew he didn't come home. Then there's a rumor about a key, that one of the guys found a key. Found a key where? At the hotel, in the room, outside, on the ground? Where? See, so many people talking, but ain't nobody getting in front of that damn camera saying anything. And that's where I have the problem. Okay? That's where I have the problem. All this behind the scenes talking. I want to see somebody talk in front of the news camera. I am the bartender. I served him 1 drink at Luke 32. I'm the one that escorted him out with his friend. I'm the one that went down the stairs with him as the friend and went back up. We paid our tab. We came out at 9:50, 9:45, 10 o'clock. That's what I want to hear. All these different articles got different stuff. Nobody is saying the same thing, and barely. The only thing they're saying is that he was tall, blonde, blue eyes, went to a bar, went missing. And a few people saw him And then they're showing you video footage of him stumbling, falling, possibly he hit his head. But what people want to hear is what the hell happened in the bar? What the hell happened at the other bars? Somebody clarify. I gave him a drink. I served him one drink. I realized he was drunk. Because I refuse to believe that he was not already probably inebriated when he got to Luke 32. He didn't get drunk off no one drink. Now, 160 pounds isn't a lot, but you got to ask yourself, what type of drinker is he? Does he know how to hold his drink? Because what if he's not really a drinker? Okay? Then you got to count mixing alcohol, vodka, whiskey, beer, all those type of things. I don't know. But I don't believe they looked for him for 9 hours. You're also going to hear they got back to the hotel. He wasn't there. So then you got to ask, what time did they return to the hotel? Did they share rooms? See, all that's going to be relevant to the role of the so-called friends. Because it's weird that all of you all made it back, but he didn't make it back with anybody. It's just really ridiculous. And yes, we've talked about that as well. Did somebody put something in his drink? Don't know. I also brought you information yesterday of some women who allegedly were roofied at that same bar, and that a doctor told one of the young ladies most of the clients he get that came in from being drugged had been to that Luke 32 and other establishments in the area. This is not good. This is not good at all. Yeah, I heard the 911 call. It was probably afternoon. I think it was 12 noon from my understanding. All right, the independentco.uk was that last source. Let's go to kansascity.com and see what they have to say about the homeless people seeing Mr. Strange. Thank you for joining me. They never said how many was in the group, sweetie. I haven't heard. Because they're not talking, so. kansascity.com is the source number 2. It's been nearly a week. Oh, Lord, they're not going to let me read this article. Let's see. I want to play it, see if I can play it.
Seen at homeless camp after leaving Nashville bar. It's been nearly a week since a missing University of Missouri student was last seen in Nashville, and new details are deepening the mystery of his disappearance. Riley Strain, 22, of Springfield was last seen around 10 p.m. last Friday night when he was kicked out of Luke's 32 Bridge Bar at 301 Broadway, a downtown Nashville bar owned by country star Luke Bryan, according to Metro Nashville Police. A friend told police they lost sight of him and tried to use Snapchat to find his location but weren't successful, police said in a news release. Strain's friends attempted to call him multiple times into the next day, but kept getting his voicemail. Chris Dingman, a family friend for over 40 years, now says that Strain was identified by a homeless person when he walked through a homeless camp Friday night. Dingman also confirmed that the bouncer did not allow Strain to stand outside of the bar to wait for his friends to close their tabs. He was taken out the side door of the bar, and by the time his friends paid and walked out, he was gone. Aaron Rummage, Director of Legislation, Policy and Communications at the Tennessee Alcohol and Beverage Commission, told the Star in a statement Thursday there is an investigation into the bar to see if there were any violations, such as overserving the college student. Just a quick word from our sponsor.
Okay. Brief commercial. What a mess. Okay.
someone home. However, state law prohibits if there were any violations, such as overserving the college student. There are no specific rules or statutes that governs escorting out intoxicated patrons from their businesses or providing assistance in getting someone home. However, state law prohibits serving alcoholic beverages to someone who is visibly intoxicated. A violation is a Class A misdemeanor, Rummage said in the statement. Another friend of Strain's, who was there in Nashville, called police at 1:46 p.m. Saturday from outside the Nashville Central Police Precinct trying to file a missing persons report, explaining they were in town for a fraternity formal when Strain went missing. "We're here on a fraternity formal trip. It's one of my good buddies," the caller said. Strain is a Springfield native and senior majoring in interdisciplinary studies and business, as well as a member of the Delta Chi fraternity. A vigil was held Wednesday night at his old high school, Kickapoo High, to pray for his safe return. "We love him more than anything and just want him home," said Riley Strain's cousin Chelsea Strain in a statement to the Star on Wednesday. The 911 caller said that the last location of Strain's phone was around 11 p.m. near the Central Police Precinct at the intersection of Korean Veterans Boulevard and 6th Avenue. "We'll be here," the caller said when the operator told him officers were on their way. Police said they did a hospital and jail check, as well as a phone ping. Verizon was not able to get a live ping because Strain's phone was off, but did give the phone's last known location, which was 0.64 miles southwest of the cell tower at 19 Oldham Street, the news release said. Detectives released surveillance video this week of Strain crossing North 1st Avenue to Gay Street that night. A "Be on the lookout" order has been issued, the release said. Police also conducted a helicopter search of the area, including the riverbank Monday, as well as a ground search with no results. The Urban Search and Rescue Team conducted a deep search Thursday along the brush and the riverbank of the Cumberland River, according to a tweet from the police department. Strain is described as a white male, 160 pounds, with blue eyes and brown hair. He was last seen wearing a black and brown button-up shirt with a black chest pocket, blue jeans, brown boots, and a black Apple Watch. Anyone who sees Strain is asked to call 615-862-8600.
Okay, so I guess that's where the Apple comes in. They've been talking about Apple pinging and data. So obviously he had an Apple Watch. So I was going to ask that when I saw the watch in the picture. What does the watch tell us? Does it stop? Is it still going? Is it moving around the city? What does the watch tell us? What do you have now on the cell phone? I believe it stops past that bridge. This is just a baffling story pertaining to this young man. It's just a very strange story. But once again, the Tennessee Alcohol and Beverage Commission told the Star Thursday there is an investigation to the bar to see if there were any violations, such as overserving the college students. And as you heard, the family members are happy that they're involved, because that's another resource to help with the National Police Department. So another friend of Strain's, who was also in Nashville, called the police at 1:46 p.m. Saturday outside the Nashville Central Police Precinct, trying to file a missing persons report, basically telling them he's on a fraternity trip with his buddies. Next day, 1:46. 911 caller said that the last location of Strain's phone was around 11 p.m. near the Central Police Precinct at the intersection of Korean Veterans Boulevard and 6th Avenue. How crazy is that? That his phone pings at 11 p.m. allegedly by a police department. But yet it's now going into day 7 and there's no sighting of him. This is very bizarre to me. Phone was pinged around 11 p.m., Central Police Precinct. So this young man didn't even think to look up and realize he's at a police station or nearby to say, let me go over here and get some help. Didn't sit on that park bench where he was fumbling and looking disoriented and turning around. I showed you that video yesterday. A bench is like feet away from where he was walking and stumbling and turning around looking disoriented. All this is bizarre to me. Did somebody roofie this guy? Did some sneak-ass bartender wanted to do something spiteful and put something in his drink just to see him, flap around like a damn fish and then throw him out the bar? This is some weird shit. This is very weird to me. Very, very weird. You don't really know what to think. KansasCity.com, that's the source of that information. There's a lot of stuff about this young man out here. So we now got the Tennessee Alcohol Commission investigating sightings of him by homeless people in a homeless camp. Waiting to hear from Apple, see what the watch brings up. Homeless camp seen in a homeless camp. Why would he be in a homeless camp? This is why I don't understand why he's doing all this walking. This is strange to me. And yes, he possibly did hurt himself. Because I keep going back looking at the video of him, you know, touching his head and maybe looking down. Perhaps he was looking down, maybe he saw blood. This is why he should have stopped walking. Was he in a homeless camp? Some rumor somebody put out about homeless person having his shirt on. Somebody saw with the shirt. Don't know if that's true or not. And you're also going to hear from the parents. Please do not call them with information that's not factual or pertinent to the case. They also have set up a GoFundMe. It is legit. His cousin has told the news that, the female cousin, they have set up a GoFundMe for him. And naturally, they need money because the parents are in Nashville. They got to be able to have somewhere to stay. They've got to have food, you know, so they can stay abreast. Any type of searching they might want to do on their own, they're going to need money. And I'm sure some kind people don't mind, you know, helping these people stay in Nashville until they get, you know, some type of understanding of what has happened to Riley. So naturally, the sergeant has spoken with the police department yesterday. They gave a press conference yesterday pertaining to his disappearance. I believe there was another one done today, too. I'll have to try to find that one to show you. And basically, it says a lot of it now at this point is filtering all of the information. We've been getting dozens of Crime Stoppers tips every day, pretty much since it started, and says it takes time to go through all of those, scrutinize that information, make certain that there could be a viable lead. All of them, as you can imagine, it's just frivolous information. Yeah, I'm sure it is a lot to go through. People calling in and stuff, giving tips. Is there a reward? That's what I'm curious about. Will we hear that there's a reward for the young man? Because they do have billboards up in the city. So he was alerted to be missing by one of the friends on March 9th. That's on Saturday. He was kicked out of the Luke Bryan's bar on Broadway around 10. See how the time changes? Now this article says 10. Somebody else says 9:35, 9:30ish. So what time did he really get kicked out? However, when they returned to their room at the Temple Hotel, Strain wasn't there. By Saturday morning, still hadn't made it back. Strain's mother, Michelle Whitey, said she had FaceTime with Strain just a few hours before he was kicked out of the bar, and he acted normal. The police department initiated checks of hospitals, jails, along with cell phone ping near a cell tower at 19 Odom Street. His friends also were able to check Strain's Snapchat location somewhere around the Metro Courthouse to no avail. So obviously he's just moving around. He's moving around. Authorities checked with Verizon. They're not able to get a ping, as I told you earlier, because obviously the phone was off. Phone's last ping is about 9:55 to 10 around the James Robertson Parkway and Gay Street. So how far is that location from Luke's bar? Detectives said the last phone conversation Strain had was with one of his friends, was also during that same time period. That was the last time anyone had any kind of interaction with Strain on the phone. So what are they saying? While he was walking around, he was talking to somebody on the phone? Okay, 9:55 to 10, he's near James Robertson Parkway and Gay Street. Detectives said the last phone conversation Strain had with one of his friends was also during that same time period. That was the last time anyone had any kind of interaction with Strain on the phone. So whoever he was talking to, was this one of the guys on the trip or somebody from back home? I'm very confused at what's going on. So who's the person he was talking to? It's very odd. The last ping they had was off a cell tower near Top Golf, which is over at that side of the river, Nielsen said, pointing across the Cumberland River. However, the radius is about 2 miles, so it doesn't give us a direction of travel or more detailed information. Exactly. Past the river. So past the river could mean what? Exactly. Under the bridge, on top of the bridge. I don't know. 2 miles, that's a lot of walking for somebody inebriated and possibly drugged. This is not good. Exactly. What did he say to the person on the phone? Very good question. They're still working to obtain his phone records. However, they do not believe he used any type of rideshare service. Surveillance video from various downtown businesses has also helped piece together some of Strain's path that night. Video from the downtown smoke and vape shop on Church Street showed Strain walking near the intersection of 3rd Avenue and Church when he appeared to lose his balance and fall into a parking lot. This is possibly when he possibly hit his head on one of the concrete boulders or the pole, not sure. Because you can't see, you just know that his legs are out this way and his head's on the other side of that pole and that concrete barrier. He appeared to have lost his balance once again and fell in the parking lot. That video was captured a few moments before video released by MNPD showed Strain crossing the street at the intersection of 1st Avenue and Gay Street, not far from where his phone was last pinged. So obviously he fell first, got up, crossed that street. So where you see him crossing the street, there's a bench sitting right there. I don't know why he didn't sit down. I would have never left that fucking area of the bar. That's me personally. I'm drunk, I feel sick, whatever's going on, I'm not walking anywhere. They say they don't want me in front of their business. Okay, cool. But I could step off to the side and wait for my friends to come out. That's what he should have done. He should have never left that sidewalk because the bar does not own the sidewalk. That's the city. They're continuing to reach out to bars and businesses for more video that they may have missed. Searchers have also been making contact with people in homeless camps in the area and investigating a claim that a homeless person saw Strain that night. On Tuesday, March 12th, they searched the Cumberland River with clues and did not find anything as the search went into Thursday, stretched into Thursday. Nielsen said authorities have continued using boats equipped with sonar and drones. WKRN is the source of this information. Oh, Lord. This is just bad business. This ain't good. This ain't good at all. Just bringing you the latest, everybody, of what I have on him. So the bar is being investigated for overconsumption. They're also claiming he only had one beverage. So what kind of beverage was that? Was it a beer? Was it a mixed drink? Solid liquor on the rocks? What are we talking about? Was he inebriated when he walked into that establishment? So what I'm trying to understand, if you say I only gave him one drink, and then let's say he wanted another drink, you told him no, I refuse to believe he got drunk off that one drink. I don't believe that. I believe he was already drunk when he walked into the bar, and you served him any damn way. He became more inebriated and possibly wanted another drink, and that's when you decided to cut him off. But I just refuse to believe he wasn't already toasty when he walked in there. So you didn't have any business serving him the one drink, if that's the truth. So you don't know what's the truth or not, because people will tell you anything. If they don't think there's going to be a video released to the public, hell yeah, I'll lie and say I only gave him one damn drink, because I don't want to be responsible that I served him knowing he was drunk when he got in the bar. Yeah, we have. All right, Evie, that's fine. Let's get into some business pertaining to this case. Thank you for joining me. You're not going to get video pertaining to the latest on this story because there's a lot to cover. Got to start with, let's go to the homeless camp. Fox Nashville is the source of that. I want to play that. Hold on one second. This is bad. Between this and Rogers, the Rogers case, it's too much going on. I swear, I've never seen so much mayhem in all my life. One's grown, one's a kid. All right, everybody.
Bad dream, wake up, be able to hug my son.
A heartbreaking exercise today as Riley Strain's family climbs down embankments along the Cumberland River searching for the missing University of
Strain was in Nashville for a fraternity formal, walked about of a Broadway bar Friday night, disappearing a short time later. Fox 17 News' Kylie Walker joining us live downtown, where that search is intensifying with each passing day. Kylie.
Yeah, multiple states and agencies are involved in this search. It's really an all hands on deck effort. Now, earlier today, we saw crews both on foot and by boat. They were circling this area. It's also the vicinity of a nearby homeless encampment. Also, the last known location of Strain and possibly his last interaction. After 22-year-old Riley Strain was asked to leave Luke Bryan's bar on Broadway, we know he went down 3rd Avenue to Church Street, and that's where he took a right, walking all the way down until it turned into Gay Street. However, his last known location was between the bridges off James Robertson Parkway and Woodland Street. What's going through your head right now?
Disbelief, this bad dream, wake up, be able to hug my son.
Describing it as an emotional roller coaster, Chris Whited tells us his stepson was last seen nearby a homeless encampment.
Right now are a couple of the homeless that have confirmed that they either spoke with him, but they know they saw him. So that's the detectives are kind of working with that.
Whited says detectives are searching through any gaps from surveillance footage.
So we're just trying to find, did he get in a car, fall? Is he with a homeless person that's taking care of him? Did he walk on down around the corner?
On Thursday, MNPD's Urban Search and Rescue rappelled down the embankment near the bridge and scoured the shoreline of the Cumberland River, with many members of the community joining in on those efforts.
For about 6 hours, we went up and down the river. We walked all the bank. We went 14 miles downstream and then came back up almost to Rock Harbor.
And with his nonprofit, American Airboat Rescue, Gary Hanner says he spent the last couple of days with Strain's family. This in search of the missing college student.
We parked the boat along the shore and then just hiked up in and talked to many homeless people and saw, went through their camps and stuff and just trying to find any clues we could.
And earlier this afternoon when I spoke to Whited, he said he's really overwhelmed with all of the information the past 24 hours. So at the time, he was telling me that he was going to regroup with family and then, of course, law enforcement agencies so that they could really hone in on what area to search next, especially because there's more volunteers and there's more family that will be coming in the coming days. Also, keep in mind there was a press conference earlier today. Right now, police say that there is no indication of foul play. Of course, things could change. We do have that press conference on our website, fox17.com. For now, reporting downtown, Kylie Walker, Fox 17 News, your Code Red Station.
All right, we're going to pause right there. So, just searches. Homeless camps, grace of God that they have searched those camps. One second, everybody. Take a brief intermission. Hold on. Gotta stay hydrated while I'm doing these live streams. Thank you for your patience. Homeless camps. I'm glad they're going by the river, checking bushes. As I said, Knoxville Area Rescue Squad went down as well days ago. So they got a lot of people on the ground searching for this guy. And hopefully, they're using proper tools, sticks to go through the bushes, wait, wade their way through just in case he crawled in or was drug in a bush or something. Searching that bank, riverbank, was the best thing to do. That way they can alleviate if he fell down, rolled down, pushed down, dragged down. It's all baffling, quite frankly. I'm going to put up a poll because a lot of you have a lot of questions pertaining to this storyline, as I do, because I'm utterly confused. I am like utterly confused at what is going on, because I don't really know what to believe at this point. That's probably what's bothering me at this moment, is what is the truth to the bar, what happened at the bar, being escorted out. You go from back door to side door, now back to front, now to the front door. So what is the truth? So I'm going to put up a poll about what was served to him at the bar, so I can get you all's opinion on what you think he drank at the bar. 1 second. Oh, Lordy. Somehow I done got out of my screen. Golly. Hold on 1 second. I had the question up, trying to put the question up so you all can answer it. Thank you for joining me on this Friday evening, 6 o'clock here in the high 10. Time went forward for those who are not keeping up. And they just uploaded a new video as well. WKRN. 22 minutes ago, I'll play that as well. 1 second, everybody. Ooh, my computer, she's not acting right today. She's very slow. All right, here we go. I can't spell a lick. Golly, what's going on? All right, take the poll, everybody. Did this bartender serve him only one drink? That is the new claim made now. As I told you, you're entitled to believe what you want, because right now, I don't know what to believe. 8 votes only. Got 80 people watching. Take the poll, everybody. Let's keep the continuity of the live stream going. 80 people in the room. Take the poll. Because the next question is going to be, was he already drunk when he got to the bar? %50 still believes no, that he was not served one drink. 35% of you so far say yes, he was. Was he drugged? We have information now that some women have been drugged at this same bar. 2 women, 1 woman was married, said she got roofied while there with her husband. So what are you gaining by roofing somebody during the company of their husband? You just roofing them because you're bored? You want to see people fall out, pass out in the bar? You do have sinister people out here. Because that's what somebody's going to ask themselves. Well, why would the bartender put something in their drink? Well, if the bartender is working with somebody in the bar that's going to try to go help them, hey, let me walk you out. Hey, let me help you to your car. And then they rob him and then they give him a cut or whatever they get off the person. I mean, maybe this is an inside job of people trying to rob people, but I can't see somebody following him around for 2 miles on foot just to rob him. They would have been done that. Nobody's getting ready to follow you for 2 miles. That's a bit much, especially a stranger. No, can't see that. If you wanted to rob him, you could have easily walked up on him, pretend you were helping him, hugging him. Hey, dude, what's up? Let me help you. You look like you need some help. Pickpocket him and keep it moving. You're entitled to your opinion. 27 votes so far. 32% of you said yes, he only got 1 drink. T says, I don't think he's a big drinker. Well, T, why you say that? Lola, what are you talking about? Jagermeister, peppermint. And the fact that he drank water, everybody knows that when you drink a lot, you do need to drink water so you can stay hydrated. So he knew what he was doing by drinking the water. That would lead me to believe he possibly was already feeling mighty fine in Luke 32. Now, some people start out drinking water when they drink. Everybody has their own method. So I can't say what was going on in that bar, but I'm going to use better judgment. He was probably already buzzed or drunk when he got to Luke 32 because he had already been to other bars before getting there. And you don't know how much he had to drink at the other places. Because 1 drink is not going to get you drunk unless you're a 5-year-old or a 2-year-old. Come on, let's keep it real. And a lot of times they do not make drinks strong unless you're drinking straight liquor. That's the object of the game, to get you to spend more money. That's why I said he probably already had a buzz when he got there. So that means if he had a buzz or was drunk, however you want to word it, you didn't have no business serving him any damn way. Are you all still voting? 91 in the room. How many more people want to take the poll before I take it down and put up another poll? Thank you. $37 votes. Let's see what you all have to say pertaining to the 1 drink. 42% of you believe no, he was not served just 1 drink. 31% of you said yes. 26 of you are not sure, 26%. Let's go to poll number 2. This is pertaining to his state of mind before he got to Luke 32. I always give you an option in case you can't decide. Not sure. Here's poll number 2, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Was Riley drunk when he entered Luke 32 bar? Take the poll. Love of the law, we've already discussed that all possibilities. Nothing's off the table because we don't know Riley. We don't know his temperament. We don't know his disposition. We don't know his drinking habits, nor do we know his friends and associates. We don't know who was really his good friend, buddy. We don't know their drinking habits. So everything is on the table as far as asking questions because we don't know these people. I don't know if he's a heavy drinker, not a drinker. His cousin says he never acted this way before, but if he never drank around her, then she can't say that. Maybe you two never drank together. You didn't ever say falling over himself. And then some people might say, well, you know, a lot of people, I always tell people to pay attention to the information. If he got booted out for drinking, that means he was already drunk when he allegedly hit himself on the head on the pole and would believe he hit himself. So now you're talking about a whole nother situation of a person possibly having an injury on top of being drunk. And you're going to bleed out quicker if you're already inebriated. This is why they tell you, you know, to be very careful when you're drinking as far as bumping yourself, bruising yourself, because you bruise easily when you drink. Now imagine you've hurt yourself and you're now bleeding. You're going to bleed out worse drunk. So did he hit himself on the pole? That'll be the next question. Thank you for joining me. So far, I got 39% of you believe he was drunk when he entered the bar. 48% of you aren't sure. 13% says no. Who else needs to take the poll? When I watched the video, the clips of him walking, stumbling, getting back up, one scene looks like he's touching his head and looking at his hand. It's scary to me. I don't know him. I don't know what kind of person he is. Naturally, family, friends are going to say he's a nice guy. You know, they deal with him. I don't deal with him. So it's still a tragedy because imagine what his attitude was that day, going out of town with his friends, conversations with his mother, other people. There's no way he thought he was going to end up a national story. And I don't think nobody thinks about that unless you know you're living a certain type of lifestyle. But when you get up and go board an airplane or pack your luggage, whatever, go on a road trip, you're not thinking the worst case scenario. I'm never going to be seen again. I'm going to get kicked out of a bar tonight. My friends are going to be behind and I don't meet up with them. So we got too many versions going on without a receipt. I want a receipt. I want to talk to everybody. I want everybody to talk to the news. I want a video of him in the bar being declined a drink. I want to see what he looked like when he walked in the bar. I want to see the person escorting him out. I want to see how long he stood outside. I want to see which direction he walked in. I want to see what time them fucking friends came out. Checkmate. $32 votes so far. How many more of you need to vote? Sammy, that's not true. Drunk people go in bars all the time. That's not true. People walk in bars and lounges already lit, already drunk. They're not turning down that money. Because the person that takes your money, let's say you got to pay to get into a bar. The person that takes your money is not the bartender. So it depends on what type of establishment we're talking about. Pay at the door or you just walk in and order food and drinks. See what I'm saying? Every place is different. So if it's the type of place that has restaurants, you would just be walking in and then you go to the bar and order your drink and then it's up to the bartender to decide if they want to serve you or not. Then you got the kind of bars where you got to pay first to get in. So the person taking your money may see you're sloppy drunk, but they take your money and send your ass in there any damn way. Yes, we need the bar footage. All right, let's go ahead and end this poll. %46 of you believe he was drunk when he entered bar Luke 32. 40% of you are not sure. 12% says no. Yeah, I don't want nobody to think I'm being rude or anything, but you always got to remember, it's about the money. I'm not gonna put your ass out of here until your ass get to acting crunk, you get to talking crazy, cursing people out, throwing shit. Yeah, I'm gonna put you out then. But we don't know if they had to pay when they first got in, or you could just walk in and then just walk around to all the areas. But if it's a bar that has different levels and floors, I'm assuming you had to pay first to get in by door person. Next question. Got to think about why I wanted to. He got kicked out because he was drunk, everybody. They're giving. That is the version given by the bar. He was drunk inside of the establishment and escorted out down the stairs by an escort and by one of his friends. The friend returned back inside of the bar up the stairs. That is their version. Next question I was supposed to ask. Y'all done threw me off. Okay, thank you, Sammy. I'm trying to think of the next question. I said I was going to ask you about something else. I can't remember what I was going to ask you. Let's talk about the friends. Let's do a poll about the friends. All right, everybody. Tuning in. This is live number 1. After this live, we're going to talk about Sebastian Rogers, new information. There's some more hanky-panky going on with that case. I was going to put it in with this live, but I'll go ahead and do a separate live because I figured this one might be a bit winded. All right, next poll, everybody. Did friends come right out after Riley left? Poll number 3. Well, I'll ask that question too. 7 votes say no, they did not come out. Now we got to figure out who was he talking to when his phone pinged near the police station. This is some very bizarre information. They're tracking him through Snapchat. Family's tracking him on the Verizon phone over by the bridge, 2 miles out. This is some bizarre behavior of an intoxicated person. Because I can't see me walking and I don't feel good. I don't know what possessed this child to continuously walk. This is so bizarre to me. $20 votes. 70% of you don't believe they came out right after he left. What if we're talking about a guy who was upset? Who's to say Riley stood outside for a while waiting? Let's say he really came out about 9:35. And he's waiting. Nobody's coming out. He gets upset and he takes off. Fuck them. They see I'm drunk. They see I got kicked out of this bar. Nobody's here with me. Fuck it. He takes off. He's angry. He's mad. Are we talking about somebody who's basically mad? Could be out here alive somewhere, but disoriented, head wound, or just pissed off. I don't know. Or foul play. $27 votes so far. What are you talking about, Lolo? 43 viewing, 28 votes. Take the poll, everybody, so I can get on to the next poll and show you the rest of the videos.
I really love working for Loan.
Next video we're going to show. Ooh, thousands of commercials. Lord have mercy. 58% of you don't believe they came out. 6% yes, 36% not sure.
Well, as the search for a missing 22-year-old visiting national from Missouri reaches 1 week, Peyton Kennedy joins us from downtown with where the focus of the search is today.
And Neil, this gave me chills when I saw it. Right behind me is a giant electronic billboard with Riley's missing person information on it. And I'm standing directly where the last time his cell phone was pinged happened. So there are cameras over here, but they did not pick him up in this location. The last time we saw him on camera is in the point between the Woodland Street Bridge and the James Robertson Parkway Bridge. There's a surveillance camera that picked up that path, and then he would have come underneath this underpass to where the phone was pinged here, but no sign of him. So a big question now is what happened in the time that it took him to come underneath this bridge. Now, underneath it is a sidewalk. To one side, there is a very short wooded fence, and then it drops off to the Cumberland River. And we know crews have been down there searching on boats using sonar, and of course, combing through the area on foot as well. Now, today, the family tells us that a big focus is on gaining additional surveillance video to aid their search, and they are calling on anyone who may have cameras in this area to submit it to Metro Police. They also say that they are extremely grateful for all of the support that they've received from people near and far.
It really has been amazing, the outpouring that we've received, not only from our hometown community, but from people all over the United States. It's mind-blowing what we're seeing, what we're hearing from people, what they're offering to do to help us.
Metro Police say they have received dozens of Crime Stopper tips every day since Riley went missing, and they're searching through those to see what's credible and what is not. The family also asks that you don't contact them with anything that is not credible information. We'll keep you updated as the search continues, now 1 week in. Live in Nashville, Peyton Kennedy, News 2.
All right. Lot going on. Take the poll, everybody. Just going through all the videos pertaining to Mr. Riley Strain. Just too much to fathom right now. Just too much. I got so many videos. Where is he? It's very strange. Looking for tips. All right, let's see what you all are talking about in the poll. Was Riley drugged? 40% yes, 47% yes now. I think I played this already.
Nashville from Missouri reaches 1 week. Peyton Kennedy joins us from downtown with where the focus
Oh,
of the
yeah.
search is.
Yeah, I saw that, played it already. Trying to make sure I'm playing everything pertaining to him. Let's see what the homeless people, what they got to say about that.
For Riley Strain, who went missing last Friday. He's a 22-year-old University of Missouri student who was in Nashville with some friends, last seen at Luke Bryan's bar there in Nashville, and that search continues today. We want to bring in WZTV reporter Kylie Walker. She joins us live now with more on where the investigation stands right now. Kylie, thanks for joining us. I know a lot of people are watching this investigation very closely. For viewers who might not be familiar with this story, walk us through what we know and where this investigation stands right now.
Thanks, Lexi, for having us. Yeah, it's been a very heavy day really a heavy week for the Nashville community. For those who have been here, they know Broadway, downtown. It's a very popular spot where tourists usually go. There's a strip of bars. This is where Riley Strain, 22-year-old, he's about 6'5", he was last seen, or he was leaving Broadway, and he was with his fraternity brothers. He was asked to leave Luke Bryan's. This was last Friday around 9:40 p.m. Now, about 10 minutes later was where he was last seen on camera. It's about a 9-minute walk to where we are standing right now. It's less than a half mile from Luke Bryan's bar. We're near the Cumberland River, and then to my left, there's also a large homeless encampment.
Listen, what did she say, how far that was?
Luke Bryan's bar. We're near the Cumberland. His fraternity brothers. He was asked to leave Luke Bryan's. This was last Friday around 9:40 p.m. Now, about 10 minutes later was where he was last seen on camera. It's about a 9-minute walk to where.
So there you have it, 9-minute walk from Loop 32 to where she's probably standing right now under the bridge. As you can see, the videos I've played you yesterday and today, you'll see a lot of people walking by. When the sergeant was giving the press conference yesterday, people were walking behind him. So 9 minutes. Now imagine walking 9 minutes plus the time he walked and was disoriented, which is probably longer than 9 minutes. Because he's disoriented, he doesn't know where he is. You see that on the video. He possibly has a head wound. So he could have been walking 15, 20 minutes in a circle to go absolutely nowhere. This is highly disturbing. I pray that after this story has an ending, that everybody is aware of their faculties at all times. Whether you drink, you don't drink. You're visiting somewhere out of town, you need to be careful when you are out of town. There are people watching, there are people lurking. People watch you at your own damn house, and people don't really realize that. And I told somebody that the other day. You can learn a lot by just sitting on your front porch watching your neighbors, looking out the window. You can gather a lot about the kind of people that you are living around. Ride the bus, the train. You can learn a lot about people, and they're perfect strangers to you. You go out of town, you are a moving target, whether you realize it or not. Now you're drunker than Cooter Brown. Hell yeah, you're a moving target. You're ripe for the taking. Is he in a homeless camp that they don't know about? Did somebody take him off somewhere in a car and do nefarious things to him? Because you do have sick people out here. Women will do sick things to men. Men will do sick things to men. Because you have sadists out here who will rob you and then they'll also sexually assault you. And I'm not here to say that's what happened to him, but let's just use deduction. It is now day 7, coming up on day 7. This ain't good. And he's not a small person. He's not 5'5", 5 feet tall, where he can be discarded easily. He's a big ass guy. So this is bad, really bad.
We are standing right now, it's less than a half mile from Luke Bryan's bar. We're near the Cumberland River, and then to my left, there's also a large homeless encampment. This is where crews were searching the area today, both by boat. They were rappelling down this embankment. They were looking by boat and on foot, and they were scouring the shoreline down on the river. Now, keep in mind, in a press conference earlier today, police say there's been no indication right now that there is foul play or a crime involved. This is strictly a missing persons investigation, but of course, these things can change. They don't believe that any sort of ride share was utilized. Again, all of the video that we have, Riley Strain is walking. We do know that he was possibly intoxicated. He was walking, stumbling, falling to the ground on some of that video footage that we have. And his parents believe that he even could have been drugged just by the physical state that they saw on that video. Also, keep in mind, Luke Bryan has touched on this. He's sending his thoughts and prayers out to the family, but also the Tennessee ABC is investigating whether Strain was wrongfully.
Now I'm going to pan the camera because he's crossing the street. Look right there by the pole. There is a bench that he could have easily sat down on.
Overserved. So again, this is something that we're continuing to watch. We had a press conference earlier today, which I touched on just a bit, but I also spoke with Strain's stepfather. He tells me that it's been an emotional roller coaster for him. He just wishes that he could wake up from this bad dream and hug his son. They're going to next take all of this information that they've received in the last 24 hours. We know this was his last known location. There's a bridge right behind my photographer, and then another bridge right behind me. It's this location, this vicinity, where we last saw him on camera. And also, his stepfather saying his last known interaction was with a homeless person down here that either saw each other or had a verbal exchange. But the homeless people that are living in this encampment have been working with police and giving them any information that they have.
Yeah, Kylie, thanks so much. I know that video is really difficult to watch where you see Riley stumbling there. You could tell that he obviously, there could have been a situation there where he may have been overserved. And you mentioned the family speaking out and friends as well. How are community members reacting? Are any of them trying to assist in this search? Or what are you seeing there in Nashville as we near the 1 week mark?
Yeah, I mean, earlier today, I saw a woman who was video recording on her phone. I asked her what she was doing here. She said she's just a Nashville mother, and she would want other people within the community to be out here searching for her kid as well. I also spoke, ironically, with somebody who was independently searching by boat, and he let Strain's family on his boat. He has a nonprofit in the area. He lives in Tennessee, and they were going up and down this river, and then also in the homeless encampment trying to talk to anyone that possibly last saw Strain. That's how they found out that that was possibly his last known interaction. There's also horses that go by on a horse carriage ride. We've stopped them, asked if they possibly saw him on Friday night. But really, Nashville is known for stepping up. This community has done so, and they're all working with the family to try to find out any sort of information.
All right, WZTV reporter Kylie Walker joining us here with that update. Kylie, thanks so much. We'll certainly be following to see what developments come from this, and of course, we're hoping for the best.
Yes, too. Thank you so much for having us, Lexi.
All right.
So let's stop right there. Sammy Nicole wants me to address the poll. Let's see where you all are now. 19 votes. 60% yes, 20% no, 16% not sure. Please take the poll. Foul play. Has Riley Strain met with foul play? The first 48 hours of any crime disappearance is very pivotal. When you make it to day 3, which is 72 hours, you are in dire, the situation's dire. And it's not to say that the person's not alive, but if the clues don't lead anywhere, it has now become a dire situation. We're now on day 7. In a few hours, it'll be a whole 7 complete days that the child was out of sight, out of mind. Okay? Where is he? Because by now, you would have seen his body somewhere out in the open, whether alive or deceased. So that would lead some of us to believe he did meet with foul play because too many days have gone by. Too many people are talking that they've seen him, but yet he's not visible, and that's a problem. Talk to homeless people. What was the conversation? What did he say to them? Hey, I'm lost. Can you guide me in the right direction? And when you have somebody drunk like that, drugged, whatever it is, it's too easy for people to come along and escort you off the beaten path. Stay woke. Yeah, we'll take you to the police. We'll take you to the hotel. We'll take you over here, but you're drunk. So you're not guiding yourself. So perhaps we're talking about maybe more than one person could have guided him into an area, did something to him, covered the body up. I don't know. But I do believe somebody else is involved. That's just my personal opinion. Because the body hasn't surfaced. So now I'm leaning towards foul play. This is scary as hell. Because we all have gone somewhere out of town. And some of us have traveled alone. And the Queen always travels alone. I've only taken one trip where I travel with other people. But usually when I go out of town, I go by myself. And I know not to talk to anybody, to be, trying to be alone with them and go places with them, because you have to use discretion. You don't know people. It doesn't matter how they look, how they sound. If they have a nice car, they're educated, they got a nice apartment, this and that. You take a chance going anywhere in somebody's house, their car. You don't know people. Have I made foolish mistakes in my past? Of course. So I can honestly say I'm lucky to be alive my damn self, because you don't know people. And once you're out of the sight of your friends, your family, your ass can become a news story. Because you don't know what can happen to you. You could just as easily go to somebody's house for a party, a function, and end up missing, end up dead. Because shit jumps off quick nowadays. People don't have impulse control. They don't know how to act. They don't know how to talk. And now you're surrounded with enemies. As I brought you a story the other day, I haven't covered the story, but I read it in the YouTube queue. A black girl went into a house with people who she thought were her friends, and they beat that girl up, and they killed her. Why they murdered her? Don't know. It doesn't matter. The point is she was killed. That's the point. And she thought these people were her friends. And it was a bunch of them. And I ain't talking about no 2 and no 3 either. And when they showed the mug shots, first thing I said was, well, look at how they look. And I know you can't judge a book by its cover, but this book I could definitely judge. All 4 or 5 of them. They look like a bunch of hoodlums, a bunch of hood rats. Hair ain't combed. None of them had their fucking hair combed. So you think I was stunned that they beat her up and killed her? Hell no. Because I'm looking at how the hell you're carrying yourself. This is why I tell you, you got to be careful. Young lady a few years ago lost her life here in the Knoxville, Tennessee area at a fucking card game. Allegedly, the people got mad that she won, so then they turned on her at the card game. She got to fight him allegedly. I think it went on outside. They went and called her son. And he came from a whole different town and shot the girl in cold blood. So I tell you, you have to be careful out here. That's why I don't do card games. I don't do house parties. I don't know you. I ain't coming to your house. I ain't coming to your house because, one, we live in a small area and somebody might be in there that I don't like and they don't like me. And next thing you know, somebody got something smart to say. Now we arguing. Now somebody else want to jump in. Before you know it, somebody laying on the ground dead. Hell no. And I tell this to young people too. You all definitely need to be careful because your group just don't got no damn sense. Young people just don't have no impulse control. They don't know how to act at all. And I'm not saying people my age don't get ignorant. Of course they do. But young people, they pop off over anything. They're the ones out here shooting and killing people in the streets over stupid stuff. Gang banging, gang initiations, just ignorant shit. Robbing people on the trains, the buses. You have got to be careful out here. Now, most homeless people are harmless, but I'm sure there are a few that are sadists, and they would do harm to Riley and do harm to others. So are we talking about somebody homeless, met him, guided him into the woods or wooded area, took advantage of him, and left him for dead? I don't know. But right now, I just can't see him alive. The only way I can see that he's alive is if he had a head injury or he was drugged and he is disoriented and he doesn't know he's Riley Strain. Is that what has happened? That he has a head injury / succumb to drugs and he doesn't know who he is? I don't know. Let me go into the home, see what they have about him. Upload it now. He was only served one drink. Let's hear what that bar has to say live like Memorex. Thank you for joining me. Welcome to the Vault XL. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $1 129 Cash App. Stickers and chats and welcome to the live stream. WKRN News 2 is the source. Did he only have one drink? We will see. Yeah, we don't do no card games. I don't mess around like that. I don't know how to play cards anyway, so.
News alert. And I want to start with that breaking news. A popular Broadway bar releasing new information today about the moments leading up to a college student's disappearance. Now, no one has seen 22-year-old Riley Strain since last Friday. That's when he was kicked out of Luke Bryan's bar. The state is investigating whether he was overserved, but the bar releasing new information about what happened 1 week ago. Let's go to Adam Mincer live with those breaking details. Adam?
Mark, I spoke to Riley Strain's family a short time ago. They say that they're in contact with the Tennessee Alcohol and Beverage Commission, the commission reaching out to them earlier today for more details about Riley. And they said that that's an indication to them that this investigation is ongoing. Now, we did get new details from Luke Bryan's bar a short while ago. They tell us that they have been working with Metro Police and that they have handed over security camera footage from that night, as well as transaction records and staff accounts from that evening. They say that they are fully cooperating into an investigation that in part seems to be focused on whether or not Riley Strain was overserved. The bar says that from their account, Riley Strain was given one alcoholic beverage, and 2 waters that evening. And that at 9:35, Strain was escorted out of the bar, the front side of the bar facing Broadway, and that one of his friends was with him, but that friend didn't leave the bar with Strain. Instead, according to the bar, went back inside. Now, from surveillance camera footage that we've been seeing after Riley Strain left the bar,
he's running.
We are seeing that he's kind of was stumbling around, seemingly disoriented as he was leaving Luke's 32 Bridge bar. Now, we are unclear about where he was before going to that bar, but we do know that he was in Nashville.
This video is disturbing as hell. This is disturbing. Once again, most of you believe foul play. Did he hit his head on the pole or the cylinder block? Hand was up to his head. Looked like he was looking at his hand. This is so horrific. To be a stranger in a strange place, wandering around by yourself. You also heard the family say they believe he could have been possibly drugged. Was Riley Strain drugged at this bar? Did a bartender put something in his drink? Friend put something in his drink? What was the drink? A cup, a glass, a beer bottle? What do we say? What is going to happen to the bar? Will they be cited for any improprieties against Mr. Riley Strain and any other participants, clients at the bar, patrons? Is there truth to people being drugged at this bar? any other bars in this jurisdiction. What is this going to happen to the bar scene? Probably nothing. People still will go to Loop 32. People still will go to bars downtown. You hear it all the time. Bad things happen in places and people still go back. They can have a shooting, a bar brawl, somebody can get stabbed. As soon as that damn door opens, they right back in there. It's just the way it is. Will the bar be cited? Will we get confirmation of one drink only? Name of the bartender. Name of the person that escorted him out. I want you to watch this video because it's pertinent. You see the sign, the logo of the building. You also saw a guy standing outside the bar in this video to show you that's all he should have done, was stood outside and told him, I'm not going nowhere. I'm with my friends. I'm not from here. And you do not own the public street, and I'm not. But you cannot tell me I can't stand on a public street. So this leads you to believe he possibly just couldn't talk or something. Because maybe he's not that type, that he's not very vocal. But as most of you who follow me, you know me, drunk or not, I'm going to tell you. I'm not leaving. I'm with somebody, and you don't tell me where the fuck I can stand. I'm going to stand a few. I ain't leaving. And I wish he had told them that. I'll stand a few feet away, but I'm waiting on my friends. That was the best thing for him to do, was to stay outside and wait for those jokers to come out. You also see him running in this video. Why was he running? You're drunk, inebriated, possibly drugged. Why would you be running? That's bizarre to me. Maybe somebody said something to him while he was out walking around. Hey, can I get a light? Hey, can I get a cigarette? Hey, you got $2. Maybe he felt some type of way. He said, shit, let me start running. I don't know these people. But then when he crosses that street, right near that pole and that park bench, you can see he's disoriented, don't know which way he's going. Then he turns around. So now you got to count all of what you're seeing in this footage, what you're not seeing. 9 minutes away, he's then got away from Loop 32 near a bridge, and poof, voila, he vanishes. No more footage, no more sightings, no more Riley Strain.
From the University of Missouri for a fraternity formal event, and that he was at Luke's with about 8 to 10 of his friends, according to family. Now family's call is for more information on what happened since. I'm standing right now in one of the last locations that Riley Strain was seen from surveillance camera video, and they want to know what happened next, what happened to Riley Strain after 10 o'clock last Friday night. Mark?
Adam, thank you.
Okay, everybody. This is new clues. Let's see what this is about. Hold on. Putting up another poll, everybody. Sadly.
Breaking news alert. All right, thank you for joining me for News 2 at 3. I'm Mark Kelly. Let's start with that breaking news alert. The last Broadway bar a missing college student visited is providing detailed new information about what happened in those moments leading up to his disappearance. 22-year-old Riley Strain disappeared while visiting here from Missouri 1 week ago today. Now, News 2 spoke to Riley's dad and cousin and joins us now from where Riley was last seen. Adam, what did his father tell you?
They told me that they actually spoke to the Tennessee Alcohol and Beverage Commission this morning. The commission asking them for more details about Riley, assigned to them that this investigation into whether he was overserved at Luke Bryan's bar is ongoing. You mentioned that statement from the bar. Let me read a little bit of it to you, giving us a new timeline of what happened at Luke. It goes, during Riley's visit to Luke's 32 Bridge, our records show he purchased and was served 1 alcoholic drink and 2 waters. At 9:35 p.m., our security team made a decision based on our conduct standards to escort him from the venue through our Broadway exit at the front of our building. He was followed down the stairs with 1 member of his party. The individual with Riley did not exit and returned upstairs. Family told me that Riley was at that bar with about 8 to 10 of his friends. Now, Mark, this all started last Friday, a week from
We now get information, 8 to 10 people. The photograph you're seeing here is now the infamous photograph, standing still in time. That is what he was last wearing at that bar last Friday in Nashville, Tennessee. There's also a rumor that a woman saw a homeless person in that shirt with dirty pants. Don't know if that's true. But you now hear he's with 8 or 10 people. So then you got to ask, where were all the 8 or 10 people in the bar? Because I won't doubt they could have been scattered in the bar. If it's a bar that has different floors, different rooms, 2 could be over here, 5 could be over here, 3 could be over here. You don't know. But what's baffling is that he went downstairs, escorted out with a friend and an escort, but the friend goes back up. So did they even come right out? Did they come directly out after paying tabs? Or did they linger longer? And this is why Riley walked off. Because why would he walk off if he thought you were coming out? It makes no sense. I don't care if the people at the bar told him he couldn't stand outside. I'd have stood out there anyway because it's a public street. It's a public street. So long as I'm not a nuisance, I'm not causing a problem, you cannot tell me I cannot stand on a public street. The law says public intoxication, so that would become a police problem, not a Luke 32 problem. Stay woke. Take the pose, everybody.
From today, when Riley was in town for a fraternity event, as you were saying, Luke Bryan's bar was the last place he was seen. He told his friends after being escorted out that he was going to go back to the hotel. It appears he went the opposite direction. The friends didn't see him back at the hotel, so they called 911 about 16 hours later, around 1:45 on it.
There's your problem right there. You get back to the hotel, you don't see your friend, he's not answering his phone, and you're going to wait until daylight savings time to call the fucking police. Does that make any sense? So let's just go here. I'm going to pretend I don't know what the fuck happened in that bar because I don't. But I don't understand the reasoning behind calling afternoon time. If you can go that long, don't call. Hell, why call it out? Stay woke. Now, some men will say, hey, I'm not a babysitter. I can't have fun too. I can't watch him. I can't watch 8 people, 9 people. I get it. You can't. But you all went together at the bar. So that would lead me to believe, you all either rode together, walked together. Somebody went with somebody to this together. And maybe all of you are not best friends, but somebody should have been looking out for him at some point because it makes no sense to go down the stairs with him and then go back up. That leads me to believe maybe Riley was leaving and he wasn't going to wait on them. Because what's the purpose of me walking you out? See, you can flip it 2 ways. He got walked out by the friend to make sure he made it without falling. Hey, I'll be right down, don't leave. And then the people say, no, he can't stand out here. So what? Riley got mad. They didn't come. See, you don't even know what's the truth. Hey, get away from the front of the door. We don't want you here. Hey, but my friends are in there. I don't care. Get away from here. So he stupidly left. Or he hung around and they never came back downstairs. And he got mad and he left. What's the truth?
Saturday. And since then, the family has been not concentrating as much about what happened at Luke Bryan's bar, but where he was last seen, saying that is what they want to know more about.
We're still concentrating on the final bridge that he never came out from under. That's what we're looking for with him. That's where we want the answers. Anything that happened up to that point, we'll deal with when we can.
That final bridge is where I am right now. This was the last place Riley Strain was seen on surveillance video and within the range of where his phone was last pinged. But as his father was saying, after he leaves this area, it's almost like he disappeared. So their call is for surveillance video or anyone that might have been here on First Street last Friday night between the hours of...
Look at the area where this video is taking place. A lot of shrubberies, easy to get pushed into if a person is not searching thoroughly. So I'm praying, since it still doesn't have full foliage yet, that People have gone along the banks, searching through the trees, the shrubs, to see if perhaps he fell, rolled down, or was pushed down into the bushes. Because at least if you walk the embankment, mile for mile, until it stops, you can at least say, we don't see him here. And now, with a week later, if the water is not high, he probably would have floated up had he fallen in the water. Take a good look at the embankment, because that's what you need to focus on if this is where the phone last pinged, in the water or in the embankment itself. Stay woke. Take the polls, everybody.
About 9:30 and 10:30 to contact police if they have any information. Mark?
And Adam, we've been talking so much for the past week now about the search for Riley, but today, of course, you talked to the father, you talked to his cousin as well. You learned more about who Riley is as a person. Share that with us as well.
Mark, his cousin and dad said that while so many right now might be having the impression that Riley was the kind of guy who would go out and party with his fraternity brothers frequently, that's actually not the case. That's really just a small part of who he is as a person. They say that he was a loving family guy, called his family 3 or 4 times a day, was talking to his mom at 7:30, making fun of her a little bit for going to bed so early on a Friday night, and was determined to be best friends with his little cousins, some of which are just 2 years old. Mark?
Adam, thank you so much. And News 2 will have continuing coverage as officials work to find Riley Strain. And you can see the video timeline as well as all of our reporting right now when you go to WKRN.com.
All right. So he's not a drinker, allegedly. What's the truth? Because you got to remember, everything you're hearing is a version. Look very closely at this picture of the bar. Lots of people are out having a good time. He could have stood anywhere to see the guys come out. There's a store right next door. I would have stood right there and waited for my friend so I could have a visual of them coming out. He could at least sat down on the wall in front of that other store and waited. He could have called their phones, texted. So let's ask that question. Did he text one of the guys' phone to say, hey, where are you at? What's taking you so long? I'm standing out here. They don't want me out here. You have to be vigilant when you're in a dire situation, okay? You have to be vigilant in a dire situation because you're not from there. You're too drunk to walk. You need to be calling their phones, texting. I'm outside. I'm standing next to the place next door because they don't want me in front of their establishment. If after a few minutes nobody responds, 10 minutes, I would have got my ass. I would have went and asked somebody in one of these businesses, could you call me an Uber or help me with my phone? I'd have asked for some fucking help. But I would not have ventured past that sidewalk. I would not have done that. I would not have done that. Did the friend search 9 hours for Riley Strain? 44% no, 41% not sure. Yes, 13%. See, what's baffling about this story is the obvious. He has not been found, not seen. Don't know if he's alive or dead. They waited a whole surmountable hours to even call to say he's missing. You should have called when you got back to the fucking room. When you got back to the room and you saw he wasn't there, he's not answering his phone, you should have dialed 911 then, but they were probably drunk. That's why I know they didn't search for 9 hours. I'm 53 years old. I know damn better. Ain't nobody searched for nobody drunk. You want me to believe a drunk searched for another drunk for 9 hours in a city that you're not familiar with? Hell no. Hell no. Now what are you down there gossiping about somebody took him somewhere? This is a bad, bad story. Like I said, men don't navigate like women. Even though it's a bunch of those guys together, you're assuming they're friends, you're assuming they're buddies, but that is not necessarily true. because this story is proof in the pudding. Whether he showed out in the bar, didn't show out, he walked out alone. Nobody walked out with Riley Strain. So then you got to ask yourself, did they all have separate tabs? And that's why nobody walked out with him. Did they exit out shortly after he exited out? Did he try calling them and didn't get an answer? Or he became impatient and he took off? Was he drugged? Did he hit his head? Was he bleeding? How long did he walk around the city of Nashville? Did Riley Strain meet foul play? This is bad. This is real bad. Just checking all traps pertaining to this story. Making sure I'm showing all the latest videos. I gotta see the press conference. Hold on, everybody. Oh, Lordy. Okay. I don't think I can pull it up on this one. I don't think it's coming up. It's not doing it. Hold on. I'm gonna have to go back to the home page. See if I can find, I'm looking for the press conference. We're not gonna hear from the family asking for help in finding their son. Thank you for joining me.
Back on him. We can't go there. We gotta find an answer.
Tonight, a family's plea for more information. Missouri college student Riley Strain missing for nearly a week. His family says they saw new video of him just today, but it did not reveal new clues. After showing up on this surveillance, Riley's family says it's like he disappeared. Well, now they're focusing on finding new video in that area. Let's go to News 2's Adam Mincer is now live from where Riley was last seen on that surveillance. And Adam, what does the investigation look like out there so far on this Friday?
Mark has actually been pretty quiet for the last few hours. I haven't seen any sign of law enforcement or anybody looking. We do, of course, continue to see passersby taking looks around the Cumberland River, seeing if they can pick up on something that law enforcement still haven't. But Mark, as you mentioned, what family really wants right now is more surveillance camera footage of the last known moments of where Riley Strain was. Now, what's really interesting is as we move more north down First Avenue along the Cumberland River, there is less and less video, less and less surveillance, as well as people saying that they saw him at that point. One of the last videos we do have of Riley Strain is from about 10 feet that way. But if you follow where I am right now, that's the Birch Building. The Birch Building is facing this side of the street. The video from that a little hard to see because it's dark. It's not well lit on this side. But the family's really honed in on the fact that you could see scooters, you could see people walking, you could see cars driving. They're saying that those people might have information about where Riley Strain ended up that night. They've even gone so far as to ask the scooter companies to share some of the data from this area from last Friday night from about 9:30 to 10:30 p.m. But one of the questions that's weighing on the family, even though they're trying to look forward, is why was 22-year-old Riley Strain alone at this point in the night?
Exactly.
There's some frustration there. why this boy was out on the street by himself, why his friends weren't with him.
I just don't understand.
Well, there's a lot of questions still on that end of the scenario.
But it doesn't get us to finding Riley. And that's where we're focused right now.
Now, those moments at Luke Bryan's bar, as we were reporting at the top of the hour, Luke Bryan's bar's coming out with a new statement saying that about at 9:35, Riley Strain was escorted out of the bar. They say that one of his friends went down with him, but ultimately went back to the bar when Riley Strain left. They say that Riley was served just one alcoholic drink and 2 waters. So still looking for more information as we move into more than a week of this investigation about where he is. Reporting live from downtown Nashville, Adam Minster, News 2.
All right, everybody, WKRN News 2 is the source. You hear his family saying they're angry. Why is he out walking around by himself? Exactly. So let's put up a poll. Was he angry? That's why he took off walking. Was Riley Strain angry at his friends for not coming outside with him and or they took too long? Stay well. Because we don't really know what's the truth with this story. Because you got to remember, everybody here has something to lose. Reputations are on the line. The bar manager, the bartender, the bar owner, Riley's so-called friends, associates. Everybody has something to lose as far as reputation. And the establishment has more to lose if indeed he was served an alcoholic beverage and was already drunk. So was he already drunk when he walked into Luke 32? Was he drugged? Did he show out in the bar, get loud, get unruly? Why didn't somebody walk out with him? Did the friends stay behind and Riley became upset and took off and met with foul play? Or is he somewhere in Nashville, Tennessee, out alive or dead? He would have starved by now, 6-7 days. No food, no water. What's the truth? Seventy percent of you are not sure if he took off because he was angry that the friends didn't come. Check the poll, everybody. 86 viewing. Who was he talking to? That's very pivotal. So he still was aware of his faculties to answer a phone or dial a number. So this is what's going to make us wonder what the hell was really going on with Riley. Because if you're talking on the phone, that means you're still coherent to hold half-assed conversation. So who was he talking to? One of the friends there on the trip or somebody back home? Who was he talking to, and where is that person, and why haven't you come forward to tell us your conversation with Riley Strain? Are the friends still in contact with the parents? Do the parents believe the versions given by the friends? Are the parents upset with the friends? Did he only get 1 drink at Luke 32, or are they lying? Did they serve already inebriated man a drink? What's the truth? 67% of you are not sure that he left because he was angry that the guys didn't come out. All right. The other video, it's a bit winded. I'm not going to play it. It's from the cousin speaking. Feel free to check it on my community page. But I'm already almost 2 hours into this live. I've got another live to bring to you pertaining to Mr. Sebastian, young child missing here out of Tennessee. Thank you all so much for tuning into this live stream. I've seen a lot of things in my time, and I have covered missing cases here in my area of people who I did not know personally, but I knew of their family members. And one of those situations didn't turn out good. Sheena Kyle went missing. A guy who she had been messing with on and off, he murdered her, buried her at his great grandmother's house in the crawl space of the house in a tool box. There's Mr. Chad Carr, African-American male, missing from this area. Still no sightings of him, no posting to Facebook, and he went missing from a halfway house. So you see, they didn't get all this play as Mr. Riley Strain. And there are a lot of people missing who don't get this much airtime. They don't get billboards. They don't get flyers. There's also some people who've passed out, you know, that'd be for the other case for Mr. Rod or Sebastian. But this boy is getting a lot of airtime and a lot of play. And this is where a lot of people get upset when it comes to missing people, because there are a lot of people who feel like, hey, my brother, my sister, my child, they're just as important as this guy over here, or this white guy over here, or this white girl over here. That's facts. This boy has billboards up day 6. There are people who've been missing 5 years, 10 years, 30 years. No billboards, no flyers, no news broadcasts, no Dateline, no Oxygen Network, no A&E, no nothing. Now, he obviously has people who are concerned about him. Then he went to a bar that's well known in Nashville, owned by a famous person. So that play is going to get played. The storyline is going to get played because somebody reported him missing. And he went to a famous bar. And then other people might just say, well, he's a white boy. So hell yeah, they're going to put that story out there. But nonetheless, it's a tragedy in itself because we don't really know what the hell happened to him. And I feel for him as if he was black, white, Latino, whomever, because he's a human being. And when I watch the video, I get more disgusted inside because I'm looking at this play out in real time of a human being walking and he looks disoriented. And I feel bad for him being out here in the elements, possibly unaware of his faculties and the fact that somebody has probably taken advantage of him. So what about credit card, debit card transactions? I'm assuming he had something on him to purchase alcohol and to buy food. Okay? So what happened? Did somebody take a card from him? Transactions on a card? Anybody bought anything if he had a debit card or credit card? I'm very curious to know that. Did he have a credit card or debit card on him? If so, has there been any transactions on the card? I would think by now that information would be relayed to the public if somebody used a debit card, credit card in his name. And naturally, most stores have surveillance cameras, so you're going to see the people walking in. ATM machines, same thing. Any usage on his card if he used a card. This is a baffling story. I've played you a lot of content today. I've read you articles pertaining to the latest events of searches, being seen in a homeless camp, being seen by homeless people, where his phone last pinged. I think he also had an Apple Watch on in the photographs. We will wait on all those results. We now have the bar saying they only served him one drink. Escorted out of the bar by an escort and a friend, but the friend went back upstairs and he went out the front door. There are rumors that he went out a back door, a side door. Now it's the front door. So see, this is why I always tell you, when you pay attention to the story, you don't really know what you're listening to, because every news source has something different than another news source has. And that's what you have here. back door, side door. Hell, next you're going to hear he slid off the balcony down a damn pole. This is why you can't believe nothing said. And I get why some people don't like watching the news, but what the people don't understand is that the news is getting this from somebody else. And it's not to say that the news can't misprint something, but they're getting this shit from somebody else. They're giving them a version, okay? They're getting this from somebody. That's the point. And everything is a version. And you're entitled to your perception of what you're hearing. Because if you're not there, you don't know what was said, what was done. And to some people, the friends look really grimy right now. Okay, now we're hearing that you walked them out, or you walked downstairs with them, but you didn't walk them outside. Then you're hearing that the people didn't want them in front of the building, or whatever. He should have stayed anyway. Do you understand what I'm saying? He should have stayed anyway. I don't care if they told him, well, we don't want you in front of the establishment. Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to go stand over here at the next person's business and wait on my friends, my comrades, my frat brothers. Yeah, well, don't worry about it, honey. This is just a terrible, terrible situation. And I'm praying that he's found safe. But it does look grim going into day 7. It looks grim. Because you're thinking by now he would have been found, either alive or deceased. Was he only served one drink? Was he inebriated when he walked into Luke 32? How many bars did they patron last Friday? Did somebody slip him something in his drink at Luke 32? You hear from family, he wasn't really a drinker. Didn't get toasted like that. But my thing is, if he's away at school, how would you really know what he's doing at school? Stay woke now. Because he would have to either go live when he's out partying with his friends for you to say, oh, he doesn't seem that drunk, or he doesn't seem drunk at all. But if you're not with a person every day, you're not around the person on the weekends when they're having fun with their friends and doing things with their friends, you can't really say what they're doing out of sight. You can only speak of what they've done in your peripheral. But you can't say over here, oh no, they're not a heavy drinker, they don't get turned up. You wouldn't know that if you're not around the person. So I don't know if he's a heavy drinker or not. I don't know if he's a moderate drinker or not. I don't know if somebody put something in his drink that night or at that bar. If a friend gave him something, he took something willingly. I have no idea. But I don't think he got drunk off of one drink. That I don't believe. I do believe he drank at the other bars. Now, how much he consumed, I have no idea. But perhaps what we're hearing is not the whole truth. And the fact that these guys came out of this bar at some point and did not call the police once they got back to their rooms, because we don't even know what time they got back to the rooms, they should have called 911 when they got back to the hotel and realized he was not seen, he was not reachable. Waiting until 1 o'clock, almost 2 o'clock the next day is bullshit. Now, maybe you didn't want to babysit him in that bar, but calling it 1 something, I'm supposed to believe what? They stayed out all night up until what? Daylight savings time? And nobody could call 911 to say, hey, our friend is missing. We're trying to call him on the phone. He's not answering. We knocked on the door of his room. He's not answering. We talked to the front desk. They said they didn't see him check in. Now it's daylight savings time. He hasn't checked out. And what day were they supposed to leave from their trip? Saturday night? Sunday? I haven't heard about that either. When I get more information, I will bring you an update pertaining to Riley Strain, 22 years of age, missing out of Nashville, Tennessee. He's a Mizzou student majoring in finance and business. He's expected to graduate in May of this year. This is a very, very troublesome story, because if it's not Riley, it'll be somebody else, and that's just the bottom line. You have to be aware of your faculties. Number one, you have to be aware of what you consume, either by drink, drug, whatever. You have to know the company you're in. You also need to know something about the place you're visiting, the area you're in, and how you can get to safety. So what's bizarre to me is all this walking around. Allegedly, his phone pinging near a police station. That's bizarre to me. Talking to homeless people. Veering 9 minutes away from Luke's bar up near a bridge, which is also has water near it. Homeless people, homeless camps checked. No Riley. Where is he? And is he alive? I will be back with more information, and I will try to do another live pertaining to other people who've been roofied at the said Luke 32. Will they be liable for serving him alcoholic beverage and intoxicated? Will we find out he had more drinks at this bar? Will we find out he also was drunk when served the one drink from Luke 32? Thank you for joining me. Like, share, subscribe, drop your comments below. Thank you for taking the polls. Thank you for watching this live stream. And please go to my community page for said updates. And I also put polls over there as well. And sometimes I post stories that I do not cover. And I also have 2 suggestions for movies this week. The Stepdaughter on Tubi, and also Guess Who, which is a kind of mild horror movie. For those of you who like horror movies, thank you so much for joining me. You've been listening to the Vault XL. I'll be back with live number 2, Sebastian Rogers. Thank you.